up, everybody? This is VisitJoan, and today I'm building 94 Road to Nowhere from The Sims 2, and oh my goodness, it's a community lot, which I usually do those off camera because they don't really have any, to my content, and, this one does, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, this lot, it's a swimming pool. It's one of two community lots that actually were in Strangetown, and the ridiculous thing is that Sims Wiki, when they tell you the size of the lot, they just say it's large. And I'm like, well, what the heck is that supposed to mean? How am I supposed to translate that to a lot size in The Sims 4? But considering that, the other lot was, just a mishmash of a bunch of separate buildings, pretty much is what it was. And, I kind of made all those buildings separately, and none of them had, the original purpose because there was, a grocery store and a video game store, and, you don't have those in The Sims 4. So I, changed them around a little bit. I turned the grocery store to a movie theater. The one in back with the pool in it, for some weird reason, it's now a bowling alley. And the video game store is kind of like a video game area. A hangout for teens and young adults to play video games. But anyway, I just thought I'd update you on that. You will see all of that stuff when I show you the whole town. But anyway, you guys, this lot was just pretty much one big pool and then a hot tub and then a building in the back. And I did make some changes to it because there was this one little room with no door and a cash register in it, and I get what they were trying to do. That was supposed to be the entrance where you would pay to access the pool, but it really was just pointless. It was just for show. So I just moved that into the main building, and basically what the building is there are two buildings because, the lot size wasn't as big as it was in The Sims 2. So I made two buildings. One of them is basically the offices and the bathrooms. There's 3 bathrooms. There's a men's bathroom, there's a women's bathroom, then there's a family bathroom that also can function as a gender neutral bathroom if you have non-binary Sims or transgender Sims that don't feel comfortable using either facility, then they can use that one, and they also function as locker rooms too. So the second building is more kind of a store, although it kind of doesn't function one because The Sims 4 doesn't work that way. It's really kind of just for apparel, but it kind of, you walk in there and it looks like, the stuff that you would find at a pool or a water park, and you've got bathing accessories or what could be sunscreen, towels, and, food that you can buy. You can buy ice cream, you can buy food from the fridges. Again, not functional that much. I don't know how to do that. But anyway, the main attraction of this place is just the big pool that's there, and I put in the hot tub as well. I also added, I added little kiddie pools and a little spray area, so it's just really nice. I'm really happy with how it turned out. But I just want to let you know right now that I built this lot before Island Living was announced. I think there might have been a couple rumors that we were getting a tropical pack, but nothing had been officially confirmed. So what you probably will see me do is at the end of this video, I'm probably going to go back, and I probably will do this on camera, but I'm going to go back and just, replace all the makeshift, lounge chairs with actual lounge chairs. And I kind of want to put a floaty kiosk in there, although I don't know what the heck you're going to do with a jet ski. Are you going to buy a jet ski and just, parade it around in the pool? I really don't think they would allow that. And I also, maybe there's little decorations and stuff, I can put fans for sale in the, the store, and maybe sunscreen and all that, wonderful kind of stuff. I definitely want to wait until Island Living is out, and it's not out yet because I'm recording all this stuff ahead. But it's not going to be complete without Island Living, and so I'm kind of marketing it a little bit as an Island Living build because I guess it technically is, since I used some of this stuff, but, you don't see the Island Living stuff come in until the very end. So be on the lookout for that. So, like I said before, this lot is one of 2 community lots that came with Strangetown in The Sims 2, and it was actually kind of interesting because, when I created my Sim self, which later became Joanna, and I basically went to this lot just to look to see if I could find the Strangetown version of Bella Goth, and at the time I didn't know it was a fake. The strategy guide just said Bella Goth is a townie in Strangetown, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to this community lot, and I'm gonna look at all the townies passing by and see if I can find Bella. Well, the problem with that is that my computer didn't have the best specs to run the game at the time, and I didn't know about this until years later. But you know how they have those cutscenes in The Sims 2 when something important happens, when you have your first kiss or you get married? My computer didn't actually run those, so I had no idea those actually existed until 4 years later when I installed the game on another computer and started playing it, and this cutscene started playing. I'm like, where the heck did this come from? What the heck is is going on? And I'm just sitting there wondering, okay, has this always been there? Or is this an update or something? Am I losing my mind or am I missing something here? And also, when I went to throw parties, I could only really invite 2 people, which is really just kind of weird. But either way, my computer didn't spawn a lot of townies. Like, it would spawn like 1 or 2 at a time. And none of them were Bella. And so I never actually found Bella that way because my computer just couldn't handle it. Like, I'm looking at people's Sims 2 LPs now, and like a whole bunch of townies start coming into this community lot, and I'm like, it was like a far contrast to what happened whenever I went to community lots with my computer back in the day. So I never actually found Belikov. But because I was personally looking at this lot, this is the place where Bella was officially found. And, I've told you the story before about how I kind of want to change it a little bit from what it actually is right now. And I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And it's also kind of just going to be a big mess when I do it, so I just haven't done it. But anyway, what I kind of want it to be is, Joanna and Randy were just hanging around at this place on Christmas Eve. I don't know why it was open on Christmas Eve when I think about it. Why would I get that it's a desert and it's in the middle of Arizona, but why the heck would you have a public pool open on Christmas Eve? Maybe they weren't even at the pool. Maybe they were just hanging out like in front of the pool, but then you got other characters in the pool. I don't know. Maybe it's just a special type of thing. I don't know. But anyway, Bella just happened to be walking there at the same time as they were. And, the thing about Strangetown is, I've told you this before, but there are like 2 sides of Strangetown. There's the more affluent side, and then there's the poorer side of town. And Bella lived on the poorer side of town. And usually the people on the poorer side of town don't really go to the affluent side of town. But Bella was here, and I never really gave an official reason for that, but she was on the affluent side of town to try and find a better paying job. She's not gonna, just ditch Rogan's after working there for like 10 years, but she kind of wanted, a second job because then she could save up more money because, she had been through like 7 months of just getting her memory back, and she realized, that she had a family, and it just really depressed her. I can't even imagine, knowing that you have children out there, but you don't know where they are, and you have no way to contact them. It was hard for her. And the one thing that was actually keeping her from going to Pleasant View and trying to find her family was that money was tight. They did not have enough money, and so she was starting to save up for that trip. But she realized that, if she wanted to make this trip as soon as possible, which she really wanted to do, she would have to get a second job. So that's pretty much why she was there. I don't know how much luck she was going to have on Christmas Eve. She figured, she had a day off and she had to start looking. If anything, she could at least find a place that was hiring that would have a decent amount of money. And fortunately for her, she ended up running into Joanna and Randy, who then took her to see her family. And if you haven't read this story, there is some drama that ensues with all of this. And I won't, spoil it for you. If you want to know what happened, you can read That Fateful Night. Link is in the description below. And now I think is a good time to update you guys on some of the stuff that's going on. I know in my last video I mentioned going to a gender reveal. So the baby is a boy. And, a lot of people were kind of guessing girls because my cousin, her last 2 kids were boys. But it's apparently another boy, so, it really didn't matter all that much because they have 2 girls and 2 boys, so it's not really that big of a deal. Also, we have a hummingbird nest up in one of our maple trees. There are like 2 maple trees in the backyard. And actually, one of them was actually like a weed tree that just came from the other maple tree in the backyard. And the people that lived in the house before us, they like literally thought it was a bush. And so they were trimming it like a bush. And then they just decided to let it go. And it turns out it's a tree. So I don't know how you confuse a bush with a tree, but apparently it's possible. But anyway, there's a hummingbird sitting in a nest in that tree. And this morning, at like 5:45 in the morning, because I just get up super early sometimes for no reason whatsoever, I look out the window, and there's this hummingbird feeder that we've had for like a couple of years now. And I've barely seen any hummingbirds at it. But this morning, there was a hummingbird right there, and it was drinking out of the feeder, and then it backed off, and then came back, took another drink, and then backed off, and then it flew off. And I'm wondering, okay, is this the mom hummingbird or the dad hummingbird? I mean, I don't know much about hummingbirds. I mean, I don't know if it's just the female that sits on the nest, because some birds just have the female sit on the nest, and the male goes out and feeds everybody. And some birds, the male and the female take turns on the nest and take turns gathering food. I don't know which one hummingbirds are. I have no idea, but somebody's getting food somewhere. I mean, hummingbirds like drink nectar. I don't think you can easily feed that to another bird. I mean, they have to somehow because they got to feed their babies, but I don't really know. I'm gonna have to look that up now because I'm kind of like curious now. But anyway, you guys, that's gonna be about it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoy the build. If you do, please feel free to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!